From the National Newsroom of the Canadian Press, I'm Rob Westgate. As the clock ticks down to 2026, looking back, one of the biggest challenges in 2025 was the change in Canada-U.S. relations.
The people sipping hot chocolate in the Canadian Embassy in Washington as U.S. President Donald Trump returned to the White House could not have predicted the roller coaster of the next 12 months. The day of his second inauguration, Trump declared Canada would be hit with economy-wide duties. Carleton University professor Fen Osler-Hampson says Trump's global trade war caught Canada and other countries off guard. University of Massachusetts public policy professor Alastair Roberts describes the past year as a partial revolution in the United States, with Trump pushing the limits of his executive powers. Jason White, The Canadian Press.
It's going to be a cold, dark start for Boxing Day for roughly 5,300 customers who are out of power in Newfoundland and Labrador. That's the latest update coming from the province's main utility as a winter storm continues to push through the region, dumping upwards of 50 centimeters of snow in some parts. Meanwhile, on the other side of the country, Environment Canada also warning about extreme cold in northern British Columbia, Alberta, and the Yukon, with the wind chill making it feel as low as 55 degrees Celsius in Dawson and Whitehorse. And finally, freezing rain is fronting as well as following a snowy weather system that's rolling through southern Ontario this morning. Ontario college students fear that they are set for a tough 2026 amid cancelled programs and service adjustments.
Colleges across the province have announced the suspension of dozens of programs in response to a lower federal cap on international students who usually pay high tuition fees that support college budgets. Ottawa recently announced it would issue even fewer international student visas next year after it introduced the cap in 2024, citing a need to reduce Canada's temporary population. The shuttered programs include food and nutrition management, event planning, and hotel operations management. Diana Mussina, The Canadian Press.
South of the border, it looks like a Christmas Day concert at the Kennedy Centre got cancelled. Here's ABC's Sophie Flay with the details.
New fallout from the controversial change at the Kennedy Centre. This year's Christmas Eve jazz concert was cancelled. Host and musician Chuck Redd told the Associated Press he made the decision after the Trump administration announced the president's name would be added to the building. Neither the White House nor the Kennedy Center has commented. Ohio Congresswoman Joyce Beatty is suing to have the president's name removed.
As of last Friday, the building's facade reads the Donald J. Trump and the John F. Kennedy Memorial Center for the Performing Arts. According to the White House, the president's hand-picked board approved the decision, which scholars have said violates the law. Trump has been suggesting for months he was open to changing the center's name. This is the Canadian Press. In sports, Jordan Addison took a handoff 65 yards for the game-sealing touchdown with 3 minutes and 43 seconds left after the Minnesota Vikings forced 6 turnovers and eliminated the visiting Detroit Lions from contention in the NFL playoff race with a 23-10 victory. Meanwhile, Dak Prescott threw for 307 yards and 2 touchdowns as the Dallas Cowboys blew most of an 18-point lead before squeezing past the Washington Commanders 30-23. Steph Curry put up 23 points to lead the Golden State Warriors to their third straight NBA contest victory with a 126-116 decision over the visiting Dallas Mavericks. And finally, John Robertson, a former Scotland winger who won the European Cup twice with Nottingham Forest and scored the only goal in the 1980 final, has died. He was 72. No cause of death was given. From the Canadian Press, I'm Rob Westgate.
Thanks for listening. Don't forget to follow and subscribe. For more of today's top stories, visit thecanadianpressnews.ca.